What's up, everybody? Blackacre here, your friendly neighborhood masked guitarist and vocalist, and tonight, pedal demoer. We're taking a look at the WSP by Vexed. Now, if you're not familiar with Vexed, they are a one-man pedal company based out of Omaha, Nebraska, specializing in the most ass-beatery pedals that you can find. And Tom was kind enough to send this out for a demo to launch the pedal, so thank you, Tom. I'm honored to have received this and your trust in this demo. And Vexed has become probably my favorite pedal builder out there. Part of the reason why I love his pedals so much is because we kind of have the same ethos with setting up gear, in the fact that these pedals sound great into an already kind of hot amp, maybe on the edge of breakup, maybe a little past, then you just crank these on and just push that amp, bully it into oblivion. And I've loved his takes on different types of pedals, and this one is no different. So this is the WSP, or the Wicked Side Pipe, and it is his take on the Swollen Pickle, which I actually have a Swollen Pickle right here. I actually spent a lot of time with this, and I will briefly touch on the differences, but really I want to obviously showcase Tom's pedal, the WSP. So essentially, you'll find 5 controls on the front. We've got "You're Gonna Burn in Hell," and awesome artwork there too. And then we also have 2 internal trim pots, which I will get to when we look at the guts of the pedal. But just like the Swollen Pickle, you have a voice control and you have a clip control. Now, Tom really wanted to put an emphasis on, exploration on this pedal, so I'm not going to say which knob does what. Of course, if you really want to, you can take a picture or pause the video when I get into the guts of the pedal, because you will be able to tell when you look at the PCB. I had a blast dialing this thing in, and that's one of my points about this that I prefer over the Swollen Pickle, is that, in my opinion, this was easier to dial in. Even though I was going in blind, as far as I didn't know what the different controls did yet, I had a lot of fun trying to, kind of figure out which control was which, and, kind of play with it to my liking. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a demo, just some riffs that I wrote, and my guitar's in B standard. That's another thing I love about Vexed pedals, is that they work very well with low tunings. And another edge that this has over the Swollen Pickle is that, in my opinion, this is a little more clear. I feel like there's a little more definition. It's definitely louder. Like when I plugged this into my interface, it was peaking when I had the volume like not even all the way up, and I can have the volume all the way up on my Swollen Pickle and it doesn't do that. So if you're looking for something that's like super badass, basically, in my opinion, kind of like a Swollen Pickle on steroids, and a little more user-friendly, in my opinion, then you definitely want to check out the WSP. Basically, what I did when I recorded the demo was I have 3 guitar tracks, 1 hard right, 1 hard left, and 1 up the middle, and I slightly tweaked the settings. Now, this is my preferred setting, so "Your" is at about 9 o'clock, and then everything else is cranked. Another thing I love about Vexed pedals is that they work really well when cranked. A lot of times I find that my favorite setting on them is just fully dimed. Another setting that I really like is putting "Your" all the way at 0, "Gonna" all the way maxed, "Burn" all the way maxed, but then messing with the "In." I would usually leave that around, I'd say probably 10 to 1 o'clock, somewhere in there, and then "Hell" still maxed out. So really the only knobs I'm messing with are "Your" and "In." Everything else stays cranked. And then internal trim pots, I'll just, I won't say what I did for those, because in my opinion it helps you get the chainsaw a little easier. I'll leave that up to you guys to, mess with if you end up picking up this pedal, which I think you should if you're into that, chainsaw, but kind of an alternate chainsaw. Not quite the HM2 chainsaw, but something a little different. I feel like it's been popularized more over the past handful of years with bands like End and Knocked Loose. I think it's a really cool sound, and something, in my opinion, a little more nuanced, a little more, dare I say, musical, even though it's obviously still very disgusting, but a little easier to hear, in my opinion, and maybe more articulate than, say, you know, your typical Boss HM2. We'll take a look at the guts next. This was built on 3/23/24, so a few days ago. Today is April 1st. And yeah, here is the inside of the pedal. I always love the Vexed Brain PCBs. There's always something cool on there. In this case, it's "Have you ever made love to a thug in the club with his ice on?" And if you know what song that's from, bonus points to you. But yeah, this is another badass pedal. And then there's the 2 trim pots, which might be kind of tough to see this angle, but here is the voice. I'm trying to show you the wording there. The voice right there, and then we got the clip right there. And the way I was able to mess with this to my liking, I'm sure there's a bunch of different ways, but I just would stick the guitar pick in there, and I tweaked it to my liking, and these are all the settings that I like. And yeah, thank you for checking this out. Let us get into the playing demo.